Sometimes it be feeling like things are so frustrating and things are so hard that you like, nobody will understand what I'm going through. Like, I am going through some really terrible stuff. There is no positive. Sup, guys? Ignore my hair. For all the girls who can do a braid out and it actually looks like something, clearly it's not me. Okay, but anyways, guys, so today I wanted to talk about appreciation. I wanted to do that second part that I was telling you guys about to last week. If you were realizing that showing appreciation was difficult, then maybe this video is going to be for you. Okay, and I was a little unmotivated to do this video, and God sent me someone who just like got me back ready to talk about it, right? Because she was such a beautiful example of what I wanted to illustrate and express in this way. I'm gonna put her YouTube channel down below, but she's a lady, beautiful, talented lady who does not have any legs, okay? And even without having legs, she is so appreciative of her life because she is able to focus on what she does have. She is able to make the most of what she does have. She does performances. She talks to people. She's been on stage with Britney Spears. Like, you know, she does things. She's written books, all of that. She has been able to make the most of her life because she wasn't focused on what she didn't have and let that demotivate her, but she focused on what she could do with what she does have. And that is so beautiful. Like I said, I'm gonna put her channel down below. And that's really what I want to go off on, what I want to start from right there, okay? Because the most important part about appreciation is not necessarily others seeing that you are appreciative. That is beautiful, and we want other people to feel appreciated because when they feel appreciated, it is such a good feeling, right? And when we love people, we want them to feel appreciated. However, I would say the most important part of appreciation is how it affects your life, right? When you are able to focus on what is good and to appreciate things, your life as a whole becomes better. Because I said this in a different video as well, but your life is like 20% what happens, 80% how you respond to it, right? And it can be difficult to focus on being appreciative. It could be difficult to focus on the good when you're seeing all of this bad. Sometimes it be feeling like things are so frustrating and things are so hard that you like, nobody will understand what I'm going through. Like, I am going through some really terrible stuff. There is no positive. And trust me, it gets bad. That's why I started off the video giving such an extreme example. Like, I could not imagine if I were born without legs. I really couldn't. I take these legs for granted so much. Like, I be skipping and hopping and moving and jumping and then complaining about cardio and like, you feel me? And I could not have legs. Like, none. And that is amazing to me, to be able to be in such an extreme position and still enjoy life, still smile and be happy, still be doing such amazing things to help others. And I promise you guys, the only difference is what you are focusing on, is what you are appreciative for, right? It is possible. I feel like Jen and many other ladies, many other people in the world show and are examples that it is possible to focus on the good no matter how big the bad may seem, right? But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. And what it comes down to is, do you want to enjoy life or do you want to complain? And that's what it comes down to. If you would rather complain than actually enjoy your life, your days, make the most of your days, then that is your choice. However, if you want to actually enjoy your life, if you want to make the most of your life, if you want to make the most of every day, if you want to be happy, if you want to grow, then you have to put aside the focusing on the negative, the complaining, all of that stuff, and focus on being appreciative, okay? And like I said, it's not easy. I'm not trying to say it like it's just, oh, yep, just focus on the appreciative and you're good. No, it is difficult. But once you decide what you are going to do, that already takes away half the battle, right? Because once you decide in your mind, I want to enjoy my days, I want to make the most of them, then that already eliminates half of the issue, half of the struggle with complaining and all of that stuff. So now you just have to put in your mindset, and now you just have to focus in on looking at the positive and being appreciative for everything that you see in your life, okay? So that is the why you should be appreciative. And just to give you another example, another viewpoint of it, let's look at this verse in the Bible, just this section in the Bible, right? Jesus is going around healing people, doing miracles, that just stuff that Jesus does, making the blind see, making the lame walk, just stuff that Jesus does, right? And he goes to this one town, his hometown, and look at their viewpoint when Jesus is coming and giving them all this wisdom and things like that. Instead of focusing on the fact that, wow, Jesus clearly got something we don't got. Wow, Jesus clearly has some wisdom. He seems like he could do big things. Let's go with that. Instead of doing that, they changed their focus, but they changed it in a way that would harm them, right? It's one thing to change your focus so that it improves your life, right? So that it makes you feel better. It's another thing to change your focus to make situations worse. Like why you do that? As if it's not enough going on already. Anyway, so that's what they did. They changed their focus to make things worse. And instead of appreciating what he had come to do, the fact that he came to give them wisdom to help them, they wanted to focus on the fact that, aren't you Joseph's son? And they changed their focus to the point where instead of being appreciative, they were offended, right? Some of them were probably thinking like, you're not better than me. Like, why are you acting like you're better than me or whatever? And because of that, they missed out on miracles. They missed out on breakthroughs. They missed out on opportunities because of their focus, because they weren't focused on being appreciative and making the most of this moment. Instead, they wanted to focus on something negative. They wanted to focus on making something negative and change their focus in a way that ultimately ruined them. Okay? And that is what happens so often with us, guys. Like, something could be happening and it is a great opportunity for you, or maybe it is a wonderful chance for you to have fun, for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to become better. But instead of seeing it like that, you change your focus to instead disliking the situation, right? To telling yourself that you hate doing this stuff, right? To convincing yourself that you can't do it. You're changing your focus, and it ultimately leads to negativity. There is no benefit of complaining and of focusing on the negative. There isn't. It's easier. It can be easier, especially if that's a habit. It's easier sometimes, and sometimes it just feels good in the moment because that's what you see. Sometimes it's more prominent because that's what you're focused on. But at the end of the day, it does not do anything for you. It doesn't help you. It doesn't improve your life. It doesn't improve you. And it doesn't help you get to the next level. Okay? So that's the main thing that I want us to get to is why should we appreciate, right? Why should we take the moment to change our focus and to look at what is good, to look at how lucky we are, to look at how blessed we are, to look at how fortunate we are, to look at what we have? And that is why, because once you can start doing that, then you can completely change your life and make it 10 million times better. Okay? And I dare you guys, I dare all of you guys as a challenge to commit for a week, commit to not focusing on anything negative, right? Commit to focusing on the positive in every situation. And it's going to be even more challenging and even more exciting the harder a situation seems, because then you'll have to dig, you'll have to really look and investigate and be like, okay, this is good, right? You have to use your creativity and your mind to focus on the good. But I promise you guys, do this for a week, 1 week. If y'all could do it, say it in the chat that y'all could do it. Okay. Do it for 1 week and watch how at the end of that week, just watch how much better your days are, how much more positive your mindset is, and just how much better everything flows, guys. It is so important. What you focus on is so important. It sets the momentum for everything, and it can change everything, okay? And one thing that I want you guys to understand is there is always something good. Where there is something bad, there was always something good. Frankly, if you have the ability to open your mouth and complain, that in itself is a blessing, because some people can't even speak, right? Some people can't even talk right now. Some people are not even conscious. They are unconscious and in like a vegetable state, not even really alive, but still going, okay? So if you're able to do that, that in and of itself is a blessing, okay? If you are in a house with family members and you are able to complain about the family members, that in itself is a blessing. That in and of itself is a blessing. I cannot talk today, guys, because you have family, right? Because you have a house. If you are complaining about washing dishes, that in and of itself is a blessing, because you have dishes to wash. Like, you could real life be out here without dishes, okay? Eating stuff off of the floor. Like, this is real stuff. This isn't even anything extreme. This is stuff that people regularly do. And the thing is, which I talked about in my previous video, is that a lot of you guys know this. A lot of you guys already understand, yes, my life could be much worse. Yes, I have a lot more than a lot of people have, and I don't even have a lot, and I still have a lot more than a lot of people. Like, a lot of you guys understand that already. That's not the issue. And what I want us to focus on more so than comparing, right? Because everyone has something, everyone goes through stuff. Everyone has something where it's like, okay, yeah, it could be worse, but this still sucks, right? Everyone has something where if you want to put it on the weighing scale, it could be worse, right? So it's not about comparing what you're going through with somebody else per se. That's something that can help you with appreciation, but that's not always the focus. What we want to focus on is our lives. What is good in our lives? What is bad in our lives? But how can we make the most of every situation in our lives? That is what we want to keep on our mind. And I just want you guys to be able to change your focus. What all are you appreciative for? What all can you say thank you for instead of complaining about? And every time something negative pops up in your head, I want you to refute it with something positive, okay? Every time you're like, oh my goodness, I have to go to school, I want you to change that to, yay, I have an opportunity to get smarter. Something, right? Or, yay, I am able to go to school. Like, I have a computer that I can go online to and have access to school. I am able to talk to people. I am able to use my brain. I am able to have a brain to figure things out. Like, just things that you can refute that with, because there, in every bad there is a good. Okay, so it's all about what you focus on, guys. And like I said, I want you guys to do that challenge 1 week, and at the end of the week, tell me if you made it. Like, and I want you to just challenge yourself to only acknowledge the good, to think of the good in every situation. When you feel yourself thinking about bad, turn it to something good. Be like, okay, but what is positive in this moment? Think of it and say it. Okay. And the thing is, no matter how difficult it is, because it is difficult, like, it's like, okay, but this is happening, and this is happening, and that's happening, and this just happened. Like, it's so annoying. And sometimes you don't want to look at the good, right? And that is hard. When things just keep happening. When you waited for something good to happen, but negative keep happening. When you're hoping for one thing and you get just something totally different. And it can be very difficult. But I promise you, what depression wants you to think, what the enemy wants you to think, what all of that other stuff wants you to think, what the negative wants you to believe, is that nothing good can come from this. And it is nothing but a lie. And if you let that continue to get in your head and to trick you and to deceive you, and then all you're doing is playing right into its hand. All you're doing is playing right into its trap. And now depression, the enemy, all of that has what it wants, because you're sad, you're depressed, you're not making the most of your day because you listen to it, instead of defeating it, fighting that off, and changing your focus, because you have control of your mind. You have control of your mind if you put in the practice. And some of y'all may have been so used to not controlling your mind that it's so much harder now. But I promise you, because it was like that for me. I was like, look, these thoughts just come. I can't do nothing about it, right? But if you keep going, if you keep putting your foot down, because it's your brain. If you keep putting your foot down, be like, no, I'm going to control this. I will not be thinking negative today. I'm not going to be depressed. I'm not going to be anxious. It's not going to happen like just like that. Like, you're not just going to be like, I'm not going to be depressed, and then it's gone. But you keep going. Okay, you keep going. You keep saying that. You keep putting your foot down. You keep changing your thoughts to positivity. You keep telling yourself that it is going to be okay, and then you will see those changes. Okay, y'all? So, and like I said, whenever you need help with that, go to God. Okay? Because it could be more difficult, especially if you get in the habit of being unappreciative. If you get in the habit of thinking of the negative, then now you have to break that habit. So you have to do more to do that. And that is what God is for. Like, God helps you through that stuff that is harder. You do what you can, and He will do what you cannot. Okay? So I really pray that this gets to you guys, and that you guys start applying this to your lives, that you guys take this to heart and start seeing better days, start living better lives, start thinking better thoughts, and start feeling better as a whole. So I'm done. I'll see y'all next week. Bye bye.